Waking up is like starting a revolution. You can't withstand this battle without strong coffee. Hello, my name is Nikita Veremeev, and I am the director of COREDO.
Нет, тогда на английском надо помедленнее сделать. На русском я такой классный, на английском прям ни хера.
For the past 10 years, I've been collaborating with companies from various countries, helping them build successful enterprises. Today, we will discuss how to draft a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU. This document will help you establish the legal foundations of cooperation and formalize your intentions. I'll share practical advice and my expertise to make this process clear and effective. Let's begin our journey into the world of MOUs. So, what exactly is a Memorandum of Understanding? A MOU is a document that records the main intentions and general principles of cooperation between parties. It is generally not legal binding, but it may contain legal provisions that the parties agree upon. Why is an MOU important? It establishes common goals, helps parties align their expectations and understanding of the collaboration, formalizes intentions, reducing the risk of misunderstanding, creates a foundation for future agreements, can serve as the first step towards concluding legally binding contracts. Example situation. Imagine
Все, давай по новой.
Imagine situation and assess your Example situation. Imagine you are a technology startup looking to collaborate with a large corporation to develop a new product jointly. Instead of immediately entering into a complex contract, you can draft a MOU to record the main points and assess your compatibility as partners. The first step is to define the purpose of your MOU clearly. Why is this important? Clarity of intentions. It helps both parties understand what they aim to achieve. Focus allows you to concentrate on critical aspects of the collaboration. What does defining the purpose include? Description of common goals and interests, areas of potential cooperation. Example, the parties intend to jointly develop and bring to market innovative solutions in the field of renewable energy, focusing on solar panel technologies. The next step is to precisely specify who is involved in the MOU. Why is this important? Clarity and transparency helps to avoid confusion and misunderstandings. Legal certainty. In case of further agreements, it's essential to know which legal entities are involved. What should you include? Full official names of the organizations, legal addresses and registration details, names and positions of authorized representatives participating in the signing of the MOU. Example, this memorandum is concluded between Res Judicata SRO, registered at Червеному двору 25A. By the way, it's our office address and you are welcome to visit. ID 285 48 159, represented by Director Nikita Veremeev, and EcoSolar LLC, registered at Praska 2, Brno, ID 13250, represented by Maria Petrova. Step 3 is to describe the common interests and potential areas of cooperation. Why is this important? Establishes the basis of interaction, helps determine where the parties' interests align, direct further actions, allow focusing on specific directions. What to include? Common goals and objectives of the cooperation. Areas in which collaboration is planned. Real-world example. The parties agree to collaborate in researching and developing new materials for solar panels, as well as jointly marketing and promoting products in international markets. Step 4 is to define the principles on which your cooperation will be based. Why is this important? Creates common expectations, helps parties understand how they will interact, strengthens trust. Clear principles contribute to openness and reliability. What should be included? Principles of good faith and mutual respect, commitment to regular and open communication, adherence to confidentiality and intellectual property rights. Real-world example. The parties undertake to act in a good faith, maintain regular communication, and promptly exchange information necessary to achieve the goals of the memorandum. Both parties recognize the importance of maintaining confidentiality and protecting intellectual property. Step 5 includes provisions of confidentiality and intellectual property. Why is this important? Protection of information ensures the preservation of trade secrets and confidential data, respect the rights, establishes an understanding of who owns the results of the joint work. What should you include? Obligation not to disclose confidential information to third parties without written consent, terms of use and ownership of intellectual property created during the cooperation. Example, the parties agree that all confidential information obtained under this memorandum will be used exclusively for the purposes provided in the document and will not be disclosed to third parties without the prior written consent of the other party. Rights to the intellectual property created as a result of joint activities will belong to the parties equally unless otherwise agreed in subsequent agreements. Step 6 is to establish general timeframes and agree on possible review of the memorandum. Why is this important? Planning helps parties orient themselves over time and coordinate actions. Flexibility allows assessing progress and making changes if necessary. What should you include? The effective date of the MOU and its terms, conditions and terms for the review of extension of the memorandum, possibility of concluding a main agreement within specific periods. For example, this MOU comes into force on the date of signing and is valid for 12 months. During this period, the parties undertake to conduct negotiations and conclude a final cooperation agreement. If necessary, the memorandum may be extended by mutual agreements of the parties. Step 7 is to clearly state that the MOU is not a legally binding document, except for the provisions of confidentiality and intellectual property, if provided. Or you might not do this if you don't want. But why is this important? Prevention of legal disputes helps to avoid unintended obligations. Clarity of intentions. Parties understand that MOU serves as a basis for further negotiations. What to include? Provisions of the non-binding nature of the document, an indication that obligations will be established in subsequent legal agreements. For example, the parties acknowledge that this memorandum expresses their intentions and does not create a legally binding obligations, except for the provisions of confidentiality and intellectual property. All specific terms of cooperation will be defined in subsequent agreements. The 8th step is to establish how issues will be resolved and communication maintained between the parties. Why is this important? Effective interaction helps avoid misunderstandings and delays. Establishing of contract identifies responsible persons for communication. What should you include? Contact persons and their contact information. Agreed methods of communication. Email, phone, personal meetings. Frequency and format of meetings or reporting. For example, for effective communication, the parties appoint the following contact persons. For SDCAT SRO, Nikita Veremeev, the director, phone and email. For EcoSolar LLC, Maria Petrova, project manager, phone and email. The parties agree to hold monthly video conferences to discuss progress and plan further actions. The 9th step is the official signing of the MOU by the parties. Why is this important? Formal confirmation of intentions. Signatures confirm the seriousness of the parties' intentions. Legal certainty. Despite the non-binding nature, the signed document indicates the parties' agreement with the provisions outlined. My advice: ensure that authorized persons with the right to act on behalf of the organization sign the document. Prepare the necessary number of copies for each party. For example, this memorandum is drawn up in 2 original copies, one for each party. Signed in Prague, date 9th of November 2024, with signatures of both parties. We have reviewed the key steps in creating an effective Memorandum of Understanding. Remember that an MOU is a tool for formalizing your mutual intentions and understanding of cooperation. By following the tips I outlined in this video, you will build a solid foundation for a successful partnership and further legally binding agreements. Thank you for your attention. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you have questions or want to share your experience, leave comments below. I wish you successful and mutually beneficial partnerships. See you the next time.